Several firearms and police equipment were stolen during these attacks, and disturbingly, some of these weapons have already been used in violent robberies last night within Naivasha police station area. The G3 rifle that was stolen from Kikuyu police station was used in the commission of violent robberies within Naivasha police station. A grenade launcher, 4 guns and other police equipment, including uniforms and anti-riot gear stolen, have so far been recovered and the perpetrators apprehended. Businesses, both public and private, were not spared either. Notably, several wholesale and retail outlets within the Nairobi CBD, Kitengela, Dagoretti, Naivasha, and Nyeri, amongst others, were brazenly looted and vandalized. Automated teller machines were violently broken into and millions of shillings stolen in the midst of the chaos. In addition, we received credible reports of assault and sexual violence committed by criminal squad earlier infiltrated the demonstrations, further compounding the gravity of the situation. On June 26, 2025, Nduyunjeru Police Station in North Kinangop sub-county experienced a very, very violent incident where approximately 400 armed individuals stormed the facility, demanding the release of 4 prisoners arrested earlier on for theft of stock. Despite the officers' resistance, the crowd overwhelmed them, resulting in the burning of the police station and the tragic suffocation and deaths of 3 suspects who were in custody, whereas one is currently hospitalized and is in a very, very critical situation. This incident, while not directly linked to the events of June 25th, reflects the ongoing momentum of violence against police stations in the country. A trend that continues to threaten law and order and as well jeopardize our nation's peace and security. Fellow Kenyans, we must not allow our nation to spiral into anarchy and chaos. The police will not remain passive while lawlessness threatens our collective peace and our collective security. As of today, 485 individuals have been arrested in connection to what happened on June 25th. Of these, 448 have already been charged in court and 37 remain under active investigation, some pending further custodial hearings. The charges range from murder, terrorism, rape, gang rape, arson, obstruction of police officers while on duty, breaking and stealing, robbery and as well robberies with violence, stealing from locked motor vehicles, incitement to violence, handling stolen goods, malicious damage to property, and possession of illegal firearms. Further investigations, including statements obtained from those arrested suspects, reveal a deliberate and well-funded plot to incite chaos, civil unrest, and widespread anarchy under the guise of public protest. Evidence indicates that the individuals were strategically mobilized and transported particularly into Nairobi from various parts of the country not to express their legitimate grievances, but to execute a well-coordinated agenda of disruption and violence. These actions were not by any means spontaneous. They were orchestrated, and we are actively pursuing the key planners, the mobilizers, the financiers, and the facilitators behind this kill, and they will be brought to justice very soon. The complaints we have received from across the country draw a clear and troubling line between lawful protest and outright criminality. While some youthful protesters joined the demonstration in good faith, some individuals tragically, even some who had marched peacefully, later turned on fellow Kenyans. They engaged in sexual violence, theft, and broke into homes and businesses. Such acts not only violated the law, but also betrayed the very ideals the protests purported to uphold. When demonstrations descend into violence, intimidation, and destruction of property, they do not advance any cause. They discredit it. They erode public sympathy and distort the message of those who genuinely seek reform through lawful and other constructive means. It must be clearly understood that the right to protest is protected under our Constitution, no doubt, and we respect the voice of every Kenyan seeking accountability and reform. However, when a bona fide protest is infiltrated by criminal elements, it becomes a threat to national security and a threat to public safety. I must commend those who protested peacefully and distanced themselves from acts of lawlessness. Some among them became victims, themselves were attacked, robbed, or assaulted by those who took advantage of the mob. To those who orchestrated, funded, and mobilized the undermining of genuine protests, your actions are an assault to the exercise of the sovereign power of the people of Kenya. It has not gone unnoticed, and as you will be swiftly held accountable for your deeds. We call upon members of the public to continue sharing information that leads to the tracking of the stolen firearms. Actually, as this afternoon, we were able to recover one of the stolen pistols from Kikuyu police station. The stolen goods from businesses, the apprehension of the suspects, and to restore normalcy in the affected areas. We also call upon all the victims of the thuggeries, those whose shops were looted, property destroyed, and who are yet to report to the police station, to come over and report to the police station so that they'll be able to assist in the investigations. To the families who lost their loved ones, to the citizens who were injured, those who lost property, and to the peace-loving citizens of Kenya, we hear you, we stand with you, and we will decisively and lawfully act in your defense. This is not just about law enforcement, ladies and gentlemen. It is about safeguarding the future of our democracy, ensuring the safety of our communities, and restoring faith in the systems that hold together our republic. Finally, we acknowledge the responsibility we bear as officers of the National Police Service and the DCI by extension to deliver justice for all victims and hold accountable those who commit crimes against innocent citizens. To fulfill this critical duty, it is essential for all Kenyans of goodwill to unite with us in eradicating the rogue elements within our society. I strongly encourage anyone with information about the individuals involved in the criminal activities that I have just cited and who are still at large to come forward and share that information with us through our toll-free hotline. Once again, I wish to reaffirm our commitment to thoroughly and promptly investigate all the criminal cases and deliver timely justice to the victims. The DCI remains steadfast and resolute in ensuring that our nation is safe and secure. Thank you very much.
The DCI will take a few questions.
My name is Ombati. I wanted to know the state of investigation with regard to claims of goons who are in the goons who are involved in this violence. Are there politicians mentioned in this issue? For example, people are saying the opposition was involved in mobilizing these goons to attack the genuine demonstrators. Please let us know what the position of that.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Cho from Citizen TV. Just a question. Number one, where is Ndiangui Kinyagia, the blogger who was taken allegedly by the DCI? Where is he?
Ndiangui
Kinyagia. It's trending on X. Number two, which are these names that you're targeting who sponsored and goons on the streets? And number three, you talked about the violence sexual violence that was witnessed. Do you have cases? Which ones? Where were these offenses? Where were the offenses happening from? That would be really good to answer. And lastly, the intelligence that you say told you that you have these planners planning these things. What did you do to that intelligence you got? Did you act on it?
Asante sana. Jina langu ni Laban Shap kutoka NTV. Nina maswali mawili. Kuna madai ambayo yameibuka kuhusiana na wizi wa mabegi 7,000 ya mbolea kutoka kwenye bohari kule Meru ya thamani ya shilingi milioni 29.5. Je, ilifanywa na wale wahuni? Na je, ni moja ya njama ambazo zilifanywa kutumia mikakati ambayo umetaja hapo, walitumia malori na vitu kama hivyo? Pia hii leo tumemsikia aliyekuwa msemaji wa idara ya polisi Charles Owino akisema kwamba Boniface ambaye muuzaji maski ambaye alipigwa risasi katikati ya jiji la Nairobi kwamba alimtukana yule afisa wa polisi. Je, alimtukana? Na katika uchunguzi ambao unaendelea ipo katika vipengele ambavyo mnaviangalia. Ya tatu na la mwisho ni je, uchunguzi huu ambao tayari umekwisha anza, inaonekana kwamba pengine imejikokota sana ikizingatiwa kwamba mbele ya kamera wakati wa maandamano walionekana wale wahuni wakiiba, wakivuruga na vitu kama hivyo. Sijui kama kwamba inaonekana mnalaumiwa kwamba mmechelewa sana katika kuwakamata, na hawa ambao wanasemekana kwamba ndio mpanga mikakati kutoka eneo moja, ni eneo lipi na ni nani huyo? Asante.
The director will first respond to those questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ombati has asked about the goons involved in the violence. Like I said in my address, initially the demonstrations were peaceful. But along the process, the entire process was hijacked by goons. Goons who resorted to looting and destroying public property. The state has the monopoly of violence. The state cannot cede its monopoly of violence to goons. We are investigating those allegations of the involvement of goons. Where a member of a goon or particular goons resort to violence, then that becomes illegitimate and that becomes criminal, and we are going to deal with them. Already we have got information about some of those goons, and that information, that investigation is progressing fairly well. Emmanuel Lato, citizen, you spoke about targeting. Maybe you can repeat your question, Emmanuel. What were we targeting? Of course, yes. We have started our investigations long before. And this also answers somehow the question by the NTV. We are progressing with our investigations. And we have the names of the perpetrators.